if you want to introduce Vic, and I'll share it into the group.
Yep, I'll do. Hey, hi everyone, and welcome to today's live chat with the fabulous Rachel, the commercial director at Naked Dog Raw Pet Food. Someone that you will probably all know about. We all absolutely love Naked Dog. You'll see it across our transition guides for starting raw feeding, and it's one of the most popular brands that we see as well amongst members. So welcome, Rachel, and thank you very much for giving us your time today.
Pleasure to be here. Hello.
Thank you. I don't know, Rachel, do you want to give us a quick whistle-stop tour of who you are and what you do?
Yeah, I'm Rachel. I've worked at Naked Dog now for about a year. I've worked in the pet industry for about 5 years. I've worked throughout my career with some building sort of smaller brands and brands that I really believe in, with a really, really good product quality and bringing them to as many consumers as possible. So I work at Naked Dog in sunny Suffolk. I live down the road from the office with my 2 Labradors, Hector and Troy. And pretty much I get up every day because I know Naked Dog feeds 100,000 dogs a week. And that motivates me every day to get out of bed and work hard with the brilliant team that we've got down in Suffolk to produce great quality dog food.
Wow, amazing. 100,000 dogs. That is incredible. And I'm just thinking, I'm only 2. I need more. That is amazing. So obviously, I know quite a bit about Naked Dog. I talk to you guys quite a lot. Are you able to give our members a bit of a backstory about Naked Dog and how it came about? What was the sort of thinking behind it, maybe?
Sure. So our founder, Craig, actually spent 40 years as a butcher. Wow. So he developed he was one of the biggest butchers in the UK. And actually their butcher shop does still continue. And he in doing that developed a great knowledge of the meat trade, the great quality cuts of meat, particularly in the UK. He alongside that, he had a real passion for dogs. And actually he's a very he put a lot of time and energy sort of as a sideline into thinking about how you could use these great quality cuts of meat to produce food for dogs. He looked into the sorts of fruits and veg and oil that might be required in addition to make it complete. And really, that's how Naked Dog was born. These two his life's work in butchery plus his passion for dogs came together in 2017. But then we started, it took a while to get going, and we Naked Dog started just before COVID, really, in 2019.
Wow! So to come
That's
through
brilliant.
Such a difficult time as well for really getting started, to come to where you are now with 100,000 mouths being fed, that's huge. Absolutely huge.
I think it's testament really to the great quality product that we know. Everyone that feeds it, we know what a difference it makes to our dogs, but the hard work of the team who it started out in pet shops, and most of our business still comes through our great pet shops who are able to talk about the brand, advocate for the brand, and it's just grown from strength to strength. And I think we know, this Facebook group is a great example of word of mouth and recommendation building on a brand. And because our quality is so good, we know we get that recommendation, and it just continues to grow from strength to strength.
Yeah, we will always have good quality options out there for members, because it's something I've learned quite a bit about recently around the quality of food, and where it's sourced from, but also how that meat has actually been grown. Obviously, a very stressed, anxious animal is not going to produce the best quality that you can get when it comes to the meat. So would you say that the quality is one of the things that makes Naked Dog stand out from the crowd, or is there more to that coin?
Yeah, well, a good question. So yeah, without doubt, the quality of our ingredients makes us stand out. So not only because of the relationships that Craig was able to build in his years within the sort of butchery industry, but also because of the really, really high quality processing, etc., or manufacturing process that we have in place. We were the first brand to achieve the UK Pet Food Raw Manufacturers Accreditation. So that's basically an audit that speaks to our end-to-end quality. So the supply of the meat, where it comes from, how we look after it, how it's kept frozen, how it goes down our line, etc., how it's packed and stored at the end. So that the quality and safety of our product is uncompromised. I think there's a big piece around us still being a family-run business. We're not owned by any big sort of conglomerate, and that means we don't compromise. If we don't think a input ingredient is good enough, we just simply won't use it. So that's a really important part of our DNA, and it is also a big part of how we are as a business, and how we like to relate to our customers as well as each other. It's a nice place to be. It's hanging out with your colleagues is like a big family. And then there's a few other sort of points that I think make Naked Dog really stand out. I think our brand is really important. Naked Dog, we're really proud of our brand. Being naked is about being honest about what goes into our product. It's nakedly good. We also try and have a bit of fun with, the Naked Dog humour, where we can, and just lean into it a bit. And that's quite funny. And the thing is, we all know, everyone on this group knows that having a dog is, you have to have a sense of humour, right? For all the times that the dog runs off and all these things that inevitably happen. And that's part of us and our Naked Dog sort of humour. And I think one thing, and we were sort of chatting about this before we went live, but one thing that I think is really important to us is making raw feeding as accessible as possible to as many people as possible. We know, everyone here knows, that raw feeding isn't always the easiest option, it might not even be possible every day. But what we want to do is make it as easy as possible, and as accessible as possible. So how do we do that? Through a big range catering to lots of different dogs and different proteins, etc. And I'm sure we'll go into that. We're in a tub and lid, which is a really, really user-friendly format. You can portion out what you need, put the lid back on and put it back in the fridge, which means it can stay safely for up to 4 days. And that's really helpful for, you don't want stuff all over your kitchen and cross-contamination. And it also means it's really safe. And we also, we want to treat our customers, the stores that serve us and the people that buy from us with, we want to talk to them, we want to engage with them, help them feed raw, help them think about other options when raw isn't always possible. And basically our mission every day is to let as many dogs have the best quality food possible every day. And that's it. That's where it starts and ends, really.
Yeah.
That is absolutely amazing. And I will say, I remember when we were going to Crufts and Wayne had said, make sure you come and find the team. And I said, how will I know where the team are? You need to send me a picture of you all. And he just took a picture of the back of your jumpers saying, ask me about getting naked.
Yeah, I'll well, do you know what? I would properly turn around, but I'm embarrassed to say I'm in my pyjama bottoms. So.
Don't worry, so bad.
It was really funny because I then had to explain to my partner, you need to look for these random people that are saying, ask me about getting naked. And he was like, what? I said, no, it means about being like naked truth of just plain, decent, good ingredients, no hidden agendas.
Yeah, and our original range. So we as you know, and I've seen it discussed, we've got our pure range, which is a single protein, and they're complementary foods, not complete. I'm sure we'll talk about those, but our original range and our superfood range are complete. And they have meat and different cuts of meat, so they'll have some tripe and liver and kidney, and that is provides different nutrients, very high in iron, but also tripe, for example, is really palatable for dogs. But then it will have whatever, let's say it's rabbit or whatever flavour it is. And then in the original range, the other 15% will be made up by some green veg, carrot, butternut squash, kelp, wheatgrass, salmon oil, blueberries. And we, Craig curated that 15% to make it complete. And it's, there aren't, not all brands are complete only by virtue of the ingredients that go into them. There's no added premix. There's nothing like that. It literally is, these are the ingredients that your dog needs to have a complete diet and be happy and healthy.
So you know exactly what you're getting then. It's all there.
Yeah, that's it. You know, it's amazing. Like when you get these deliveries of pallets and pallets of kale or broccoli, and you think, you watch it going to food, and you think that's amazing. You know, these dogs eat better than, well, certainly than I do.
They really do. They really do. And I love the fact that you use wheatgrass as well in that range, because it's not often used and it is a powerhouse, absolute powerhouse of nutrients. So I really do like that. With your tubs, sorry, I am being a bit cheeky and asking a question for myself.
Yeah.
Are they fully recyclable?
Yes.
Amazing. I thought they were.
No, they are. You know, it's a really interesting conversation, because obviously they come in plastic tubs. They're made of recycled plastic and are recyclable. So tick on that box. But you know, at the end of the day, it's still generating waste. But we know that they are not only the most user-friendly format, and they stack easily in the fridge, the freezer, or the fridge. In fact, they stay in the fridge up to 4 days because they've got that lid on them. But also they're very safe, and it's so important for us as a manufacturer, and it's part of our UK Pet Food Raw accreditation, thinking about the safety of the food and the impact it will have on the users. And
they don't leak. That is such a big win. The amount of things that leak drives me crazy. So
you don't need to put the food in another Tupperware, which the following Tuesday you'll put your bolognese in or whatever. So it's they are very safe. And just if anyone's interested, some other alternative uses. We know that some people, instead of recycling the trays, particularly this time of year, plant seedlings in them instead of those.
I've just done that myself.
My dad stores all his screws and nuts and bolts in them.
Oh, that's a good idea. He's always losing those, so that could be the next one.
Yeah. So another idea.
And I reuse them for if I've got to put the dogs to my mum and dad's. I'll prep all the food, and then I'll portion it up for each dog per day. And the tubs are so handy because they're not that big either. They can fit in my mum's little freezer. So it's perfect.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
That's a good one. I could use them when the dogs go to boarding.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Nick. There's another one. So obviously I know we've talked briefly about the ranges. So you have the pure, original and the superfoods.
Yeah, and puppy. So I'll do
puppy, yes, I always forget those.
I'll do a quick summary of each, if that's
brilliant. That would help.
Let's start out with puppy. Actually, within sort of raw, actually lots of dog food brands, whether it's raw or not, but particularly raw, we're quite unusual because we've got 4 flavours of puppy. It's usual to have just 1 or 2 within a range. We've got 3 single protein flavours, so chicken, beef, and rabbit, and they are single protein.
Wow, love it.
One surf and turf, which is white fish and beef. And so all of our puppy recipes are 90% meat and then 10% fruit and veg. And that's because a puppy has higher energy requirements, so they need a bit more of the fat and protein. Yeah. The range of that 10 sort of fruit veg mix that we talked about is very, very similar to what I described earlier, but it's also got chicory root in it, which aids supports the digestive system growth of puppies. So it's a really well balanced range because it has those different options in terms of flavors, etc. From a manufacturing point of view, it goes through a finer grinder, so that the mince is grinder obviously for little tummies. But we're really proud of it partly because of its breadth, actually. And then our main range is our original range. So that's the 85% meat, 15% fruit and veg, etc., which I just described. And we've got we've got chicken and beef in the flavors you would expect, but duck, and we've just launched venison. We only had a venison pure, but we've just launched a venison original, and rabbit, and turkey, and tripe, and I can't even list them. So. And that's that's our sort of I was about to say it's nothing standard about it, it's brilliant, but it's our sort of main range. We've then got superfoods, which is it's a 90% meat recipe, and it's also a complete food, 10% the fruit and veg mix. But there is a difference. In our superfoods recipe, we also include turmeric, ginger, ground black pepper, and spirulina, all of which to support sort of inflammation and recovery. So I actually feed, so Hector, so I've got 2, Troy's 3 and Hector's 6. And I feed Hector superfoods because he's not, we say it's sort of great for dogs, not necessarily senior dogs, but dogs that are getting a bit older, just to, in the same way that when you're 40, you start taking glucosamine or whatever it might be. It's the same sort of principle, but obviously it's all natural and with ingredients that, assuming that you cook with spirulina, ingredients that you'd have in your kitchen. And
that's really useful, that, because my eldest Benji has just been diagnosed with hip dysplasia.
Okay.
And I'm thinking with the turmeric and the spirulina in there and the ginger, it's going to help to support him a little bit and take some anti-inflammatory.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what that combination of ingredients do. It's yeah, and the ground black pepper, that just supports the increased absorption of the turmeric. And the ginger. So yeah, no, I mean, I use it for my, and actually we are going through a bit of a rebrand at the moment, so that will be on pack, that it's great for dogs 5+, just because we need to communicate it a bit better.
That'd be fantastic.
But it's great, particularly great for dogs 5+.
Yeah, definitely. That's something that we can look to add into our blogs as well about that to help out more.
Great.
Brilliant. Sorry.
And then our Pure range, which I've seen quite a lot of, is quite popular on this group, is they're single protein recipes. So they're typically 80-10-10, so 80 meat, 10 bone, 10 offal, and we've got a good range of proteins. Are the ones that really storm through are our venison, our wild boar, and our rabbit. So the slightly more unusual proteins, but we've got duck and turkey and beef. And that, they're a great option for anybody that wants to curate more of their dog's diet. I see on your group so many licky mats with some raw food, and then the broccoli and all the sprats. And it's so if you want to curate your dog's diet, but also because they're single protein. So our other recipes are, whilst they have a main protein, they can be mixed, and that's to do with flavor as well as providing different nutrients. But these are single proteins, so they are also appropriate for somebody trying to think about, is their dog allergic to something, and an exclusion diet. So either of those sort of two sets of people who want to have a bit more ownership over what their dog's eating. But our Pure range is really, really well for us.
We are obsessed with the wild boar in this house. It's to the point where Arnie will howl as if he's a husky. Because he's getting his wild boar. I absolutely love it. And I've just managed at the weekend to get my hands on the Pure rabbit, which I'm really excited about. I've never had it. So that will be coming soon. I think it's Monday next week I'm going to feed that. I've written a list out.
Wow.
So that's going to be really good.
I can reach in the freezer, but you're much more.
But it's really good because we can portion it out, because we'll be feeding that just to Benji because it's one of the cooling proteins as well, so it helps energetically for him.
Yeah.
And he only has like 250 gram a day, so I don't have to take out a whole kilo because it's in those 2 500-gram tubs. I can just take one out.
Yeah.
And that'll be 2 days food, nice and easy.
And put it in the fridge. Yeah, no, it is really. I do find our tub and lid format, exactly as you say, makes it just so much easier to feed and portion out, etc. So yeah, and then I'm gonna romp on and talk about some of our new products, if that
Please do.
I gave you a teaser before, but we're really excited actually. This summer we'll be launching into our original range. We'll be launching a kangaroo original, and into our Pure range, a kangaroo. So that'll be a single protein kangaroo recipe.
That's going to be
I mean, kangaroos are great. It's really high protein, so it's about 27% protein. Most meats that other, so chicken or whatever is about 24, 25. So it's really high protein and really, really lean. So it's a great option. It's also the kangaroo, because it's sort of forage fed, is a really flavorful and rich meat as well, like rich flavor meat, even though it's quite low fat, etc. So we're really excited about those recipes. And we'll also be launching so 3 no offal recipes. We know that lots of people, but actually particularly owners of Dalmatians, that want no offal recipes or low purine recipes. So we'll be having a one with kangaroo in, still defining exactly what that recipe is, but then we'll have a chicken and venison and a salmon and goose no offal recipes. So some really exciting launches this summer.
That's amazing. They've got some good options then, because again, even if somebody didn't need the no offal option but wanted to try that food, they could then experiment with offal themselves as well, by all means.
Exactly.
And the world's the oyster.
Mixed protein, because I think we're still really keen, because there's a palatability thing, and there's also we know that different meats, etc., bring different things to the diet. So they will be mixed, but just no offal. So yeah, I mean, kangaroo is super exciting. As you can imagine, anyone that's involved in marketing in the business is going mad with ideas. So what's his space?
I mean, for the kangaroo, I think it's something that is quite difficult to get hold of in the UK, and it's such a popular option when it is there. I'm going to need heads up from my local shop to make sure I go and get it as soon as it's launched.
We have already sent out stuff so shops can start pre-ordering, so that when it sort of hits the ground in the UK, we can get going as soon as possible.
That is amazing. I'm so excited for that one.
Very popular when it launches.
It
really, really is.
Because there's not many brands now that have kangaroo. So
there's hardly anyone. Now it's such a difficult one to get.
Yeah.
But also it's one, because obviously we do live in the UK, so the Western world does have a obesity epidemic within our pets, unfortunately. A lot of our members do come to us for help with weight loss, and one of the things we always recommend is looking for more lean proteins. Kangaroo, absolutely incredible for weight loss.
Sure. I mean, rabbit's also quite good, and so is venison, actually, from a
literally top favorites.
I mean, actually, we had a venison pure, and literally a month or so ago launched our venison original, and already it's flying. So obviously a really popular option.
Brilliant.
It's such a good one to have.
Sorry?
It's a really, really good option to have for so many people, because again, a lot of people have issues with certain proteins, so they'll work with a holistic vet or a nutritionist to go onto an elimination diet. They do tend to be on the rarer proteins, and it can be so hard because the rarer proteins often mean DIY, and not everyone's confident enough to DIY. So having that option in a minced option, absolutely amazing.
Complete meal, great.
Takes that sort of stress, because you're already overwhelmed from your dog not being well. You don't need the stress and panic of trying to portion up the meals into exact amounts of each ingredient, so it does take that pressure off them.
Well, we hope so. So it's available in pet shops and on our online as well. I think you can see the code that we've got going for till the end of May. So
you literally just took those words right out of my mouth. You have been really generous with giving us a code till the end of May, which is Raw Gets Naked 15 for 15% off first online orders until the 31st of May. I will be placing my order on the 27th. His payday, not mine. It's just really good. I know Keisha ordered the other day, and literally next day delivery at her door. Brilliant. So she's really excited to get using
it. So deliveries are Tuesday through Saturday. That's when our sort of pick, pack and factory and stuff, we can't get DPD on Sunday, whatever.
So if you order Monday, it would come Tuesday. If you order Friday, Saturday or Sunday,
it'll come Friday. It'll always be next day. So the just obviously because it's frozen food, it has to be next day delivery. On our website, there is also the function to choose your own day. So you could choose,
oh, brilliant.
I want it delivered next Tuesday or whatever it might be.
That's really good.
Yeah. And I know, we had a brief chat over text, didn't we, about Northern Ireland, and I know that that's a frustration of some people, but we are looking into ways of making that happen. Our limitation is just that next day delivery. It's very hard to get from Suffolk to Northern Ireland within next day. So and that's so important because for us, as I said at the beginning, the quality and safety of our food is paramount for you and for dogs. But we're looking into ways of trying to overcome that. We'll see.
Brilliant. Hopefully, I know it's been a troubling time, obviously, for a lot of people trying to get deliveries over to Northern Ireland with things. But if you guys are looking at options for that, that is going to make a lot of people very happy.
Definitely.
I'm sure they will keep their eyes peeled for more information on that one. That is all of my questions. Nick, do you see any questions on the live?
Yes, there was one from Sophie asking, would you ever look into adding egg or eggshell into your complete range?
I would never say never. To be honest, it's not something that currently we're talking about, but I think this is one of the joys of being in a small family-run business where let me talk to you about venison, for example. We sort of clocked that it wasn't in our range, and we knew that we were advised that someone else had delisted it. And that was sort of on the Tuesday, and by the Friday we'd run a trial to get it into our range.
Yeah.
And so, I'm at the moment it's not on the agenda, but we are committed to having the best possible recipes, and so we're always talking about what we can do to improve them. So not at the moment, but I'd never say never, and it's certainly something that we can even take back now and talk about.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Amazing.
I love how you've got that close-knit communication as well within the team, where you are literally like a family. It really helps to get things from the ground into the factory, and it's amazing to see relationships work like that.
Yeah, no, it is really good. It's a really great place to be. I think that some of the team might be watching now, so
I've seen Wayne in the comments. He says hola. There's been no other questions at the moment, so anyone that's watching, if you have a question, fire it in now. Other than that,
otherwise, we're always available to answer questions if you have any.
And definitely, I will be building my basket today, probably ready. Just sat on it watching and changing things as I go. That's been really, really helpful. I think the main takeaways, obviously, is people within our group understanding about what Naked Dog stands for, and you've really articulated that well about how passionate it comes literally from the ground. That passion's been there from day one, and it's just built arms and legs and wings, and turned into the amazing company that it is now.
I couldn't have put it better myself. Yeah, I agree. So it's the quality of the food is really, really exceptional. I feel like I love my dogs anyway, but I feel like they positively glow, and I'm just really proud of it, and I'm really happy to speak to you and everyone in this group. And really, our mission is to bring it to as many people as we can.
Absolutely.
Wayne said, talk more about the certification, testing, etc.
Oh, he's putting you through your paces, I'd say.
Okay. So the UK Pet Food Raw Manufacturers Accreditation, as I said, I touched on, it's an audit that talks about, it audits literally everything, where we get our meat from, how we store it, what we then do to produce it, our checks as we produce it. But then, Wayne's talked about testing. For those of you that don't know, Wayne is one of our sales reps, as you say, putting me through my paces. And so at the end, testing. So, once we've produced, we put everything's in the freezer. They're frozen down to -18. But testing, the quality, we do sort of random tests, for example, microbiological testing to ensure that actually there's nothing that shouldn't be there in the meat or the food. And because of the controls that we have, there never is. We do very well on those tests. And then it also talks about the controls we have when it leaves the factory. So obviously it might go by DPD. Some stores will get it on their vans. And actually how we can, if there's ever, it's very rare, but if anyone ever has any feedback for us, we can literally go back and see which batch of meat we use, we can test it, etc. And so it's, we know that within raw food safety, because of the nature of the food that you're feeding, right, it is raw food, safety is so important. And that's why the accreditation is so important, and why it sets us apart from, other brands that maybe don't have the same controls in place. You don't necessarily know exactly what has gone in to the food and the quality at the output as well.
And I think it's quite big, obviously, a big concern for parents. We obviously have Keisha and we've got Amy, who have both got children, Claire as well on the team. I'm possibly missing people that have got children, but I'm sure there's about 3, maybe 4 who've got children.
I can't think of anyone else on the team.
On our team, and they all raw feed, but they've also been parents to the young children, who obviously young children, hands are everywhere.
Yeah.
And they want to make sure that they've got those hygiene steps in place, and that should the child come into contact with something, that they've got that traceability going back, be able to say, I need help. And I think that is such an important factor, that Naked Dog, and there's literally only a handful of companies who have that accreditation within the UK. So the fact that Naked Dog were the first ones through the post, absolutely amazing.
Yeah, no, I mean, it is really important to us. And you talk to Craig, safety and particularly this point around kids. And that's also why our tub and lid is so good, because you can literally that is where the food goes. It doesn't go anywhere else, and it's so easy to use. So we're really proud of that too. But absolutely, the safety of our food is paramount. And we're very confident that it is as safe as it possibly can be.
Yeah,
absolutely love that.
What's the benefits of the sleeves on the packaging?
Yeah, I mean, so first of all, they enable us to sell the 2 by they bind. I mean, functionally, they bind together the 2 500-gram tubs, which is actually it's a really shopper, user friendly way of selling it. And then, of course, this might sound a bit, is the brand, right? Look, at the end of the day, people, everybody, I do, I'm sure you do too, you buy something because of how it looks and feels. And we're very proud of our brand stands out. It enables us a big, if you think of the 4 sides of it, we've got lots of space to communicate. So I talked about the superfood rebranding for 5+, and we're putting information on pack, not so much that it's overwhelming, but actually we've got space to communicate. That is our primary communication method with people that pick up our product, and that so that's it serves a big benefit in that respect.
Again, that communication is absolutely key as well for keeping things, as you say, naked, and making sure that people are aware what exactly is going on and any key safety features that they need to be aware of.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
love that. I love the sleeves. They're recyclable as well, aren't they?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. No, we do everything we can to try and minimise our impact on the environment. So, for example, we get all our duck from Gressingham, which is literally down the road from us. So try and reduce our miles as much as we can. And of course, the fact is that raw dog food includes a lot of what we call the 5th quarter. So all the offal from, the human sort of the cuts of rump steak or whatever, all those livers and kidneys, etc., have to go somewhere. So actually, from that point of view, it is actually quite a sustainable option.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
So again, that's obviously a big factor for a lot of people, is apart from the ethical side, they've then got the sustainability side, and the fact that you guys are thinking about sustainability with everything that you're doing and reducing the carbon footprint wherever you can. And Gressingham duck is absolutely stunning. I love it.
I mean, that's where it comes from. And like our broccoli comes sort of 45 55 minutes up the road. It's close by. So we really do what we can to try and reduce food miles on everything that goes into our food. We also have a no, I'm on one now, but we have vans. So we've got vans that go out to store to deliver, and we try and actually pick up quite a lot of our raw materials on the way back. So we're reducing the sort of carbon impact of getting deliveries or whatever.
Yeah,
that's really good. That's actually a really smart way of working it as well.
yeah.
It's much more economical, shall we say, as well as sustainable.
Talk to the wonderful lady that routes the vans in the office, though. I think it can be quite stressful.
Oh no.
Weirdly enough, we have engineers that go out in my day job, and it's difficult, shall we say, at times, especially when you see different traffic diversions, and you just think my day's getting worse by the second.
Yeah.
But I think it's really important that you do cover those factors though as well around sustainability. And again, not everybody looks at that side of things. Like not everybody looks at trying to be as eco-friendly as they can be with the recyclable tubs. I can't wait to portion up Benji's food now on Monday. I might have to change my meal plan and maybe portion it up and take some videos, because I'm quite excited to feed the pure duck now that I've got it.
Yeah. Well, let me know how it goes down.
Oh well, you'll hear me singing probably all the way down there. I get quite excited. Even the other half though, if it's a naked dog day, he gets really excited feeding the dogs.
Yeah, well, it's such a rewarding experience, isn't it? When there's,
it said it's just easy to take the tub out, defrost the tub in the fridge, and then you can just keep it all in there. You don't have the faff of portioning out into different boxes and tubs and bowls.
Yeah.
And he loves no faff, so he's very happy with it. Nick, is there any more?
No, that was the last of Wayne's questions.
Yeah, okay. I was surprised.
More. Make sure you make him work extra hard tomorrow for that.
Oh, he's just put another one in. He said, "Does the code apply to raw only, or does it apply to treats and cold press,
etc.?" It's across anything that you put in your basket.
The whole website.
Oh. He's very naughty mentioning that, because now I'm thinking I need treats.
Vic's basket's just growing more.
If nobody hears from me again, I'm stuck on the website building. But yeah, I think that's absolutely amazing. And the offer is going to go a long way. Obviously, we have sort of covered about people do struggle at the moment. So I think the 15% off is going to be a huge help for so many people at the moment. It's fantastic, and thank you very, very much to you and all the team at Naked Dog.
Oh no, well, thank you very much for having us. And as I told you before we said, I've got a phrase that pays at the end. Kangaroo will do. Kangaroo
is just going to be so popular.
Yeah, no.
And I think it's brilliant that you said that.
They said they'd buy me a drink if I did so.
Make sure you get one off each person.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
But yeah, it's going to be a game changer.
One that engages so well with your group as well, and I really hope that as many of you as possible can enjoy Naked Dog, and your dogs can too.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.